My name is Kent von Maubeuge. I worked for Naue the last 35 years. Naue is a German geosynthetic manufacturer. I retired last year, but I still have a contract going for 1 day a week or 1.5 days a week because they want to use, I guess, my experience I have and use it. I live in Germany, so up in the north part of Germany, that's where I live, and that's where I work. My involvement in the IGS in the past was council member, leader of the corporate committee and TC barriers, technical committee barriers. And after that, I'm now still involved in the IGS Foundation and in something which is now the IGS Handbook, because that's being developed by our president and he's asking people to work on that. So those are my involvements at the moment. The IGS Handbook is very, very important, I think, for our industry, because we're not focusing basically on the experienced people. We're focusing with that handbook on the young engineers, on the ones who don't have that much experience in it. And it's a total different setup. It's not going to go into what are the properties, what are you supposed to specify. It's going to tell more about, divided in chapters and different chapters on what are the functions, what applications are they used for, and what are the do's and don't do's when you install the material, what quality control do you have to do, and those things, because I think that's where you have to start. And it's sort of like in university. I mean, you get every year new young engineers, you always start from the scratch, and we have so many good technical books out there, but not too many which are really going to be showing the young people's, well, be a bit careful on installing it this way, installing it that way. So I think that's a very, very great initiative which the IGS is doing. I think it is necessary to have a geosynthetic handbook because, as I just mentioned, we want to teach the young, the new generation who are coming up, who are developing, who are using these materials, and give them a guide how to go into it, how to look into the application and the function and understand what to do and what not to do. They can read a lot about the technical stuff, no doubt about that. There's not a lot out there, but I think it's very important that they understand the easy stuff as well and not start directly at the top level, which typically happens in the conferences where, sometimes you can't catch them. So I think that's very, very important that we can get that. And this is a living document. That's, I think, the most important part. It's not going to be like a book we write and then we're going to say, okay, we're finished, that's it for the next 20 years or 10 years. This document is going to be living, so we're going to work on it, and then in 1 year time we're going to review it and see what changes do we need. So I think that's a perfect match and setup. Well, the people putting this handbook together are selected by the IGS, by the Educational Committee. And of course, we have an editor, which is the Geosynthetic Institute, is George Kerner. And he has a lot of experience because his father, Bob Kerner, wrote the book on geosynthetics. So there's a lot of information there. He's taking care as an editor of the whole thing. So he's selected also the writing, the chapter writers. So we have consultants there, we have manufacturers there, we have engineers there, we have researchers there. So specific chapters, like I'm doing the one on hydraulic engineering, Kerry Rowe is doing the one on environmental one. We have then Joel Sprague doing the erosion control one, stabilization, Eli Coelho. I mean, all very well-known people who know those topics, and they're basically writing that chapter, and they're all independent from each other, and of course they're being reviewed at the end. We have a very tight timeline. So we already have the first draft written. All chapters have been sent in. They have all been reviewed. And I heard today that we will receive those comments shortly. So after that process, then the authors go back and look at the comments and have to make modifications or have to comment why they don't want to make the modifications in there. So I think we're going to have around about 1 month time for that. After that, there will be another month time because then those comments will be reviewed again by the Educational Committee. And my feeling is I think by 3 months from now on, I think it should be ready. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be in a physical handbook, which will be downloaded from the IGS website. In my opinion, it's going to be great. It's going to be something which people are going to have, which the Education Committee, which the universities, which are not teaching geosynthetics that deeply yet, they're going to take it and they're going to say, here, I have something. Here, I have a new concept for using sustainable materials to improve, have resilient materials out there to build structures which are better than with old technology. And old technology, I mean like compacted clay liners, which everybody knows, but we have geosynthetic clay liners or MSE walls, which can be built steeper and higher with this fantastic geosynthetic material. And I think that really the young people are going to grab it and going to say, wow, I didn't learn this in class, and it's going to improve my development in the industry.